Hi guys. Yesterday I was mentioning that we were going to do pork belly today, and I was really conscious that I give you the heads up, so if you fancy cooking this on Sunday, you could go out and get the produce. Now, this one is all about pork belly, and I had a great response yesterday about trying to buy as much local produce as possible, and pork belly is no different. You'll get that in your local butchers, your market, and yeah, you will get it in the supermarket as well. It's such a great cut of meat. I absolutely love it. And again, this one is really affordable. It's really good. Now, I wish I could say this recipe was mine, but again, this one isn't. This is the recipe of Claire Kaufman, the wife of the legendary Pierre Kaufman, who is one of the greatest chefs this country's ever seen. She does an amazing roast pork belly, and I stole this recipe, and it's an absolute belter. But you need to be organised a wee bit, okay? So when I say organised, first of all, you've got to get the pork belly, which you should be able to do. But we need to salt it, and we need to salt it for about 6 to 8 hours before we cook it. Okay, so I've got my pork belly, and it's exactly that. We've left the skin on the belly. That's really important because that's going to be where we get that beautiful roast crackling. Now, using a sharp knife, I'm going to score the skin going one way, just going into the skin, okay? And this will all make sense once we start to cook it. So we'll score the skin that way, and now we're going to go the other way. So basically, we're making a kind of crisscross on the skin, okay? And this is really important for when we get the crackling. Now, the crackling is what this is all about. I love it when you cut into the roast pork and the crackling goes crack, and then you've got all that succulent pork belly meat. It's lovely. Right. So we need to salt this all over it. Okay, let's get this in the fridge. Okay, so that's my pork belly out the fridge now. It's been salted for 7 hours, okay? So if you remember, I scored it, I salted it, I put it in the container, cling filmed it, and popped it in the fridge. And that's really going to help bring the flavour of the pork out. So now, we're just going to go through the next steps. Right, okay, now we're going to wash that salt off the pork belly. So we've washed it off, and I'm just drying mine off with some kitchen paper. If you have it, you can use kitchen paper, you could use a clean dishcloth, something nice. Okay. Oven tray, tin foil in the bottom, wire tray on top. Now, I've preheated the oven to 200 degrees. So what we're going to do now, we've salted it, we've washed it, we've dried it. We're now going to shock the pork skin with boiling water, okay? And we're going to pour that over the top of the pork belly. And that's going to open up the pores. If you remember, we scored the skin really gently, we salted it, and now with the boiling water, we're just going to shock the skin. And right over the top. Like so, and just a little centimetre of water at the bottom there. So you can see, if you come in and see how the little scores have separated there, okay? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop that into a hot oven, 200 degrees, and we're going to put that in for about 20-25 minutes, and then we're going to drop the temperature to about 150 degrees and cook it slowly for about 3.5 hours. Right, let's go. Okay, so that's the pork belly been in the oven for 20 minutes now at 200 degrees. So I'm lowering my temperature to 150, okay? And you'll see a lot of the water is evaporated. I'm just going to top up the base of the tray as well with water. 150 degrees, and I'm going to keep an eye on that, but it's going to take about 3.5 hours. We want the meat under the crackling to be really soft and juicy. We cook that for 3.5 hours at 150 degrees. Now, in the restaurant, the crackling kind of goes without having to do anything, but I've had to improvise here a little bit. So this is, this is the joys of cooking at home. So what I've done is I've turned the oven off, and I've just put it onto grill mode, and that's literally like 5 minutes there, and you can see now the crackling is starting to really go. Woo-hoo. Right.
Oh.
You do, yeah? Right, Kiki, one of your favourites, roast pork belly.
Yeah.
You love it?
Yeah.
Love it on a Sunday? Kiki loves a Sunday roast. He loves Yorkshire pudding, roast beef, roast lamb, like all of us. Oh my goodness me, Kiki. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. One of the joys of life is Sunday lunch, even though it's Friday today. Kiki.
I'm sure the knife's the wrong way around.
It is the wrong way around because I just want you to get the sound effect of the crackling. Many a family fight has started over the crackling, okay? But for me, Sunday lunch, you know, that's traditionally the day that I always have off from the restaurants and I have lunch with the family, with friends. It's sacred. But today's Friday, but I really wanted to do the roast pork. So if you're starting to think about Sunday lunch, because there's no football, there's no ballet, there's no match, Super Sunday, we might as well have Sunday lunch. So get cooking. Right, we're going to taste this. Okay. Big Kiki. So, now, in the bottom of the pan there, you could just add a little bit, take off the excess fat, add a little bit of water, and boil it up, make a little bit of a sauce. Tonight we're not having, traditionally on a Sunday we'd have roast potatoes, roast veg, apple sauce, and all that kind of stuff. But it's Friday, and I don't know what we're going to do, Kiki. What should we have with it?
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding with the pork. You just put Yorkshire pudding with anything, you would. We're going to have Yorkshire pudding with it. No, but so when you go to carve it, okay, I always like to take a serrated knife because it is really, it just helps a little bit getting through. Oh my goodness me. Look at that. Oh, so I'm going to slice it open. Like so. And then we're going to have a wee secret taste, Kiki. There you go. Watch, it's really hot. Okay. So the flesh, the meat should be lovely and soft. And the crackling should be really... And that's lovely as well because the salt, remember we salted it beforehand, that's really penetrated the meat as well. So the seasoning is perfect. So remember, crisscross the meat, rub it with salt, in the fridge, 7-8 hours if possible, okay? Out, wash it off, dry it. Then pour over the boiling water and into the oven. 200 degrees at the beginning, nice and hot, 20 minutes. Lower the temperature to 150 degrees. Depending on the size, 3.5 hours in the oven so it goes really soft. Then if it's not getting crackled, just turn the oven off and put it gently under the grill and that crackling will pop up. I hope you enjoy, guys, and I hope you have a great Sunday when it comes around. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.